Black Minds Unchained starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey. Here we go. Louis got to turn his there we go.
Gotcha.
What's up? What's up? How you been, man?
I've been doing great. How about you?
Yo, I'm good. It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a crazy week. A lot of stuff going on this week.
Oh, my God, man, do we got a lot to unpack. That's just the thing. It's so much going on right now. I don't even know where to start. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know how to put it. But before we go anywhere, we got to introduce our guest that's in the house tonight. It's a good friend of mine. How long we been together, bro?
Wow, since what? The boys were like 9 years old.
But they 24 and 24 now?
Yeah, 25.
And we started off in coaching baseball, playing Little
Y'all
League.
got kids that old? Y'all old.
No, wait, you better cut it out.
Stop it.
I got a 30-year-old.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where we started, man, and just been coming up together and doing things together, making things happen. Black men sticking together, trying to work and get things right.
Yeah.
Take a village to raise a kid.
Thank you very much.
Indeed.
Thank you very much, and that's what we do. But Huey Smith is in the house.
Yes. How you guys doing out there? Good to be here.
Good
Welcome
to have
aboard.
you.
Yes,
Tell him.
yes.
Oh, yeah, you're a Navy guy. You used to be saying welcome aboard.
Yes, I am. CB.
Well, let's clear this up right now before we go any further. I got a Viking wannabe down there on that end.
Skull.
Then I got a Bear wannabe right here.
Yes.
And the pride of all of them, the pack is sitting right here. So let's get that cleared up.
We're going to see which team going to break out their golf clubs first.
Yeah.
So that should tell you that I would put up with anything. If I can deal with these two right here, I'll put up with anything.
Go Vikes.
You're not right at all. But hey, you know what? Let's jump into the hot button topic here for a second.
All right. Fire when ready.
The shooting of the brother that jumped out of the car with the knife.
Oh, I just saw that today.
Me too.
That was off the hook.
Yeah.
Big time.
And I don't see what the controversy is. I see no controversy whatsoever about the shooting.
Yeah, that one was, gotta say, pretty clear and cut. You know, a guy coming at you with a knife, and after he rammed your car while you were sitting, that's a tough one.
But what about the tasers?
Yeah, they do have non-lethal options.
I'm not going non-lethal. You coming at me with a knife that close.
What?
If you're 50 feet away, I might think about it.
Right.
Yeah, I really don't think he had time to even consider anything else. You know, that situation, I mean, guy coming at you with a knife right in that close proximity, that's a tough call, man.
He was on an officer before he knew what hit him.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's the whole. And I look at it the same way. Okay, I'm driving down the road, right? Mm-hmm. And somebody with a Viking jersey hits me in the back. And then I get out in the passenger seat.
He didn't break your collarbone when he fell on you, did he?
Exactly.
Oh, sorry about that.
in the passenger seat, there's a Bears fan. But what I'm saying, if you coming at me that quick, that fast, do you really expect somebody to react? To sit there and think, well, let me see. I'm either going to pull out my taser or I'm going to pull out my gun. I understand what people sit there and go, well, that's what they train for that.
No.
Yeah. So your gun is always on your dominant side, right?
Yeah.
Unless you got one of them safari holsters. And your taser is usually on your non-dominant hand.
Okay.
Which hand you going to activate first? Your dominant hand.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that you don't even think when your reflexes will tell you grab your gun. I'm pretty sure because the officer tried. There's for you guys that aren't gun people, there's like an imaginary bubble. It's like 20 or 20 feet around you. If anybody's running, or if anybody is that close to you within that range, they can be on top of you before you can pull out your sidearm, aim, and fire. That's the magic bubble space, and that guy was well within that 20, 25 feet, and he was running.
Yeah.
So he was covering more ground, moving that fast, coming at the officer who opened the door, and it kind of startled him, but he couldn't move because he had the door jammed behind him.
Yeah.
He had his door in front. So what is he going to do? He actually fell, and he just kept coming at the officer even when he was on the ground.
Yeah, they got a name for that. They call it the 21-foot rule.
Yeah.
And he was well inside of it with a knife charging at him. And he's actually lucky he was able to,
To get off a shot.
Yeah.
The cop.
Yeah. Yes.
Is what you're saying.
Yeah, he's actually lucky. A lot of the general public, they don't know about this 21-foot rule. And they always want to say, well, why can't the cop shoot him in the leg? Or why can't he, like you say, tase him or whatever? But if it's a guy on top of you running at you with a knife,
that's right.
And taser what if he misses with the taser,
Exactly. Or like they've been known to not work on some people.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, and then shooting in the leg, that is a hard thing to do in a stressful situation, to try to aim at a leg or something.
Hey, Huey, where Uncle Sam teach you how to shoot? Where he tell you to shoot?
Center mass.
Center mass. That's right in the chest.
Yes.
And people don't understand that. When you when we're out on the range, I'm not shooting down at the target's legs.
No.
I'm not even shooting at the arm.
No.
I'm not shooting at the shoulder. I'm shooting and I'm training center mass.
Yes.
Exactly.
If I have a problem and I have to, it's center mass.
Right.
Yes.
I'm not thinking no other place.
Right. First of all, your gross motor skills are going to be next to nothing. They're going to be compromised because of the stress of the situation, and no one knows how they're going to react in that situation. So your gross motor skills, you can hit that target all day long at the range, but you get in a situation like that, your gross motor skills are going to be out the window.
Plus, I got to be thinking of what's behind that.
Yeah,
exactly.
A lot of calculation.
Always
right?
what's going on, what's behind, lies beyond the target.
Yes.
That's right. So it's not just about shooting somebody. That cop had 2 split seconds maybe to evaluate everything that was in front of him and think about, what do I do now? I do believe he did tell him to put the knife down.
He did
Multiple times.
Right? Am I right?
He was screaming at the top
told
of
him
his
to
lungs.
Put the knife down. So let's say the young man would have put the knife down and he would have sat on the ground and he would have went through the emotions that he was going through.
Yeah.
Then we would be talking about the mental illness that's in and the trauma that's in the black, because there is, and that's what we don't talk about.
Yeah, that's definitely a subject that doesn't get talked about. We don't usually get that benefit of the doubt for mental illness. Guy can run in the mall and shoot up, and the first thing they want to say is, he's got problems.
He's mentally ill. He's got problems.
Ill. But you mean to tell me a kid in Chicago that shoots in a crowd of people, you mean to tell me he's not mentally unstable? To be able to do some of the things they do in Chicago? Those kids are traumatized,
Thank you.
Yeah, but
PTSD.
Yes, but we don't usually get that benefit,
You go through a war-torn neighborhood every day. You're stepping over crack addicts.
Yes.
You're stepping over junkies.
Needles.
You hear needles, gunshots, all this stuff. That plays on the psyche of these kids, and they're going through it every single day.
Yes. I grew up in Chicago, South Side, Inglewood neighborhood, and I grew up in the rough part of town, and I've seen things no kid should ever see,
Ever.
And
You've seen some stuff that some grown folks shouldn't see.
Folks
and it's traumatizing, and I've seen people killed. I've been shot at. Well, I haven't been personally shot at, but I've been caught in crossfire where I had to get down, and that stuff is traumatizing. I mean, your neighborhood is literally a war zone. That is a accurate description.
And like I always say, that don't happen in Plymouth.
No.
They don't happen in Maple Grove. They don't happen in Hopkins.
No, they ain't gonna happen there.
So they wouldn't understand what it takes to be able to get your mindset right just to walk out the door.
Yep.
Just to walk out the door.
Yeah, it's like 2 different worlds, 2 different planets we live on.
Well, when you get to the point to where you hear firecrackers or anything that sounds remotely like a firecracker, and your instinct puts you on the ground, you've been traumatized.
Yes.
That's not a normal reflex. Your normal reflex is to look around and think who's why fools shooting off fireworks.
Yes.
That's natural. What's not natural is hitting the deck when you're not military.
Exactly. So with this young man going through what he went through, we need to, as the black neighborhood, number one, we need to start talking about this. I mean, we got to get out of this code of silence that we don't open up the doors and talk about things in the black neighborhood. No, we need to talk about what's going on with our children in the black neighborhood. There's no ifs, ands, or buts now with the way things are, with how much violence that these kids are seeing every single day.
Yes.
They're traumatized. So let's open up that door now so we can get our kids help.
Where's our grief counselors? I know when there's a school shooting, you got tons of grief counselors all over the place until the kids feel better.
Bingo.
You don't feel okay after seeing what you've seen. But where are the grief counselors in the black neighborhoods?
A lot of them been closed down. A lot of them over the years.
Yeah. Not everybody can go go drop some money and go see the shrink.
Yeah.
Right.
It don't work like that. If you ain't got no money, you saving that last little $35 copay, you hiding that under the pillow in case somebody gets sick.
Exactly.
Appreciate you. So that shooting, yeah, it even set me back a little bit because now we got people running out here talking about, we want an independent investigation. Well, let me give you an independent investigation. The cop did his job. We're done with it.
I'll second that.
Yeah, that's a hard one to defend. That is what I would say. That is a hard one.
You can say what you want. You just can't. I pray and I have prayed for that family, for what that family is going to be going through, what they're going to be dealing with year after year after year. But we're not talking about that. What we're talking about is the cop. And what we're doing is we're putting pressure on the police department. So the next time something happens, when it goes down, am I going to run around because I was going to go to the visual. I was going. I was going to go. But then I knew a bunch of other stuff more than likely. People have been saying this. The cop did this. The cop did that. And I didn't want to hear that. I wanted this time to be able to see the video. Because, I got caught last time that kid got shot up up top in Minneapolis there. I went out to the visual, and everybody, oh, no, he didn't have a gun. He was just sitting on the corner drinking. And I was getting upset. And then all of a sudden the video came out. Here this brother is running with a gun in his hand.
Right.
So two things you don't do.
Right. So then the narrative goes from, he didn't have a gun to, you didn't have to shoot him in the back.
Ray was such a good kid. Hell no, he wasn't a good kid. If he had a gun, he pointing it at a cop or he running from the police.
No.
He wasn't a good kid if he was doing that. And, we need these so-called leaders of the black community need to stop it. You just need to flat out stop it. What's the deal? Why do you think this is a slam dunk? You can't get any more. This is textbook of what the cops would see in school and with the academy about when to use lethal force. His life was legitimately at danger, and a lot of people didn't pay attention to where he fell. He actually fell on the ground.
Right.
So then he was almost defenseless, and the guy was going to come at him. And anybody out there, I think it's just natural that you shoot him. I would shoot him, and I wouldn't lose a moment's sleep, because it's either him or you when they come at you with a knife. Those vests are bullet-proof, bullet resistance. They're not knife-proof.
You got a neck, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, we had people. We had a guy in the Army. We had civilian police on our post. Got shot in the arm. He got shot and it hit him under his arm, where there's no armor or anything, and it killed him.
Oh yeah.
That vest is not to save all.
No.
And I don't want to be a crash test dummy to see if it works.
Yeah, you got plenty of other arteries around.
Yeah.
That can be hit.
And guns, the bullets tumble. They don't just go in and come right out. If you're lucky, it does. Right. But in most cases, it doesn't.
Yes.
And choose your battles. That was a waste of time. You want to say, we just, you go down there as an individual and say, can we see the whole footage? You don't try to put in doubt or get the community in an uproar about saying that, it wasn't a legitimate shoot. You can't get more legitimate than that. God rest the kid's soul, but if he didn't have that knife, he'd be here.
Yeah.
If he had to put it down, he'd still be here.
Yes. I have to agree with that.
So we just gotta let this one fall as it may, and like I said, we're all gonna pray for that family. I definitely will, and hopefully Let's just hope and pray that this finally opens that door that we can start talking about the mental illness that we have in the black community, because there is some. We try to act like we all strong and all is here, but we have problems that we need to start addressing. That's what this here whole thing comes about. And that kind of, in a way, rolls us over a little bit into the next thing, that when stuff like this happen, the first thing they want to start talking about is there's no fathers in the home.
Right.
They love to use that narrative. And there's no one out there these days that is throwing that around as much as that bobblehead is doing. And she has irked my back.
Who's the bobblehead, Red?
Like no other. Because here is the deal. If you're not going to build up the black neighborhood, shut up.
Exactly.
Yes.
If you're not part of the cure, you're part of the problem.
You don't represent. Let me make it this very clear one more time. The only place that Candace Owens has any type of credit is in a white person's mind. Yeah, I said it.
Well, that's the truth, because none of us believe what you're saying.
No.
We're like, she ain't one of us. We don't know her.
She uses the black neighborhood to get where she's at. If you're going to do something, Candace Owens, here is the deal. I'm going to put it to you plain and simple right here. My name is Reverend Tim Christopher. I need you to call me. You have my card. I met you right there in Minneapolis. I gave you my card. Call me. Let's sit down. Let's talk. Let's talk about what you can do for the black community versus going around talking about that there are no black fathers in the home.
Yeah, that's she just feeds the fuel, and making people sleep easier, or petting them and reaffirming what they believe, which is wrong.
Exactly.
That's just perpetuating the problem. And it's sad that you do it for money. That is the absolute worst thing to do, is sell your people out for money. You can't take it with you.
Yeah.
And you to put money in front of your own people, that's an issue. And not that, money's money, you got to live, but can you sleep after doing some of the stuff that she does?
Apparently she can.
Yeah, apparently, but this is got to change. This narrative of black fathers being missing and absent is just not true. Every black father I know, from my nephews to my buddies from high school, every black man that I know takes care of their kids. Every single one, whether they're married, living at home with them or not. They take care of their kids, every single one. And they spout out these statistics and they're skewed, Yeah. They don't take, there's a lot of factors they don't take into account, I mean, this fatherlessness statistic utilizes, marital and household statuses as the cornerstone of these metrics. And they don't take into account that some fathers aren't married. They living together. Me, I had 2 kids, and we weren't married for a while, but we got married.
Had one.
Yeah, we got married after our second kid, and and we've been together ever since, But because we weren't married, does that mean I wasn't a father? No, I was there every day doing everything a father should do. So you gotta look past these statistics they spout off. It is far more kids living at home with a black father that aren't. And that is the case. But it
doesn't fit their narrative.
It doesn't
exactly.
Fit. That's exactly what it is, and that's an ugly narrative. Now, are there deadbeat fathers out there? Yeah,
definitely.
I had a deadbeat father, and don't get me wrong.
You and me both.
When we say that, but what I'm saying is, don't lead your story about men with this here story. Why don't you step up and help somebody? See, you don't even come into the black neighborhood. So let's also clear that up.
Right.
When you was here, I told you to make sure that you call me. You promised me you will be here in 2020, and then we will walk in the black neighborhood. And we will meet people in the black neighborhood. And we will meet some of the people who thought, I got 31 years into my wife. My wife and I have been 31 years. 2 kids, a grandkid, and 1 on the way. So it hurts me because I've got men in the church who are fathers. I see fathers dropping their kids off at school, black fathers dropping their kids off at school.
All over the
all
north
the
side.
time.
All
right?
over there.
At the end of the day, did you abandon your kids?
No, I stuck with mine for 20 years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You haven't abandoned your kids. You got your kids.
No.
So instead of walking around throwing this here narrative out there, because that's what a lot of your fans like to hear. Anytime you can, what they say the poorest white man will feel good about himself if he knows that he's better than the half richest white black man, or whatever that story goes. But what I'm saying is that's what you do. Like I said before, it's like that scene from The Help when Ola Davis is getting fired and that little white girl is crying and she had to tell her, she said, "You're smart, you're important." That's what she does.
Exactly.
I seen it for myself when I was in that room with all them rich white people. And she's in there coddling him. Mm-hmm. Stop it. That's why I brought Don on this show, to explain white guilt. That's why he was here. That's why I brought him here, to explain white guilt. Look, you don't need Candace Owens telling you that you're good.
Right.
If you do what God tells you to do, then you're good. Yeah. If you're a true good Christian, then you're good. You don't need someone to tell you that you're good. That's crazy.
Yeah, something's on your conscience bothering you. Yeah. At some point you gotta put what's reality and what's fairy tale. You got to be able to reconcile those things.
Come
in your
on,
mind.
man.
And it's not being reconciled. It's
right.
I'll just listen to Candace.
Right.
Come on, man. And there's somebody, and don't mean to cut you off real quick, but there's somebody that I listen to every day that I told him that I'm coming on your show and we talking about this because you're not going to bring this here to the Twin Cities. That's not going to happen. You're not going to be putting this out here on one-sided. That's the thing that I'm saying. This is all one-sided. Black men take care of their families. Now, there may be some kids out there that's going wayward. There's some white kids out there that's going wayward.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. That's all races. But I think us more than any other people, we get stereotyped by the media and all the negative lights, just like the term black on black crime, They say 90-something percent, 3% of black people are killed by other black people, but 86% of white people are killed by other white people. It's who you live in proximity to,
Yeah.
But the media and everybody latches on. That media is a dangerous tool,
Yes.
They can spout out statistics and it becomes truth in people's minds, just like that, And it is very dangerous, and we got to counter that with some real information, And that media is really, really one-sided when it comes to black people,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'm one of those people. I hold us to a higher standard, and that's the way I was brought up.
Yeah.
I hold us to a higher standard because the expectations for us are so low that I got to hold us up to a higher standard.
Yeah, I think we all could do that. We all could hold each other to a higher standard.
And we should, because it's just like in my church. I got two people in my church that are elders, and they have a right to tell me when I'm acting up and I'm not doing right. And I can't come back at them and tell them to leave me alone. They can sit me down and say, you need to pull yourself in. So I've got people to rein me in who are elders who I respect.
Right.
Yes.
Is what I have. And that's the problem. That's one of the problems I see with these black kids today. I was down there and I told a little boy to go home. Little boy looked at me and basically told me to go be myself.
Right.
Go do you, old man.
You know what would have happened back in the day if he had did that.
Yeah. You'd have been smacked. And we just need to get it. Now, there's things that, now don't get me wrong, there's things that she says that I say myself.
Right.
But like I said, I don't use my blackness to get to where I'm trying to go with my people.
Yeah.
I don't do that. I will never trade who I am for a green bill. And now, if you want to give me money to help me do the things that I do when I'm down there feeding the homeless or doing this here, that's fine. I just had someone drop ship me a whole thing of underwear. So when I go down there, I can give the homeless men underwear. That's what they say they want. I just had a GLer send me underwear sitting at the church right now. But what I'm saying, if you're going to talk about the black community and you're going to put black fathers down, then step up to the plate. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Step up to the plate and start helping some of these black fathers. Be a mentor. put together a mentorship to help some of the black people. But this is what I know: there ain't no Blexit.
No.
And you know, all these black people going over to the Republican side, because the Republicans got to do better.
We saw that firsthand on Tuesday.
On Tuesday, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So that's a lie too.
Yeah, we went. You know, the show usually broadcast on Tuesdays, but you know, if you were watching the stream, we actually brought you footage from one of the Republican. Well, it wasn't a primary; it was a debate.
A debate.
And there's probably 4 or 5 of us, including the guy on the stage.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5.
Yeah. So Republicans, they want to make strides to get us in their party or to get our vote, but you got to court me away. Keep courting.
Yeah.
Because if it's nothing in me for it, I'm not going for it. But we owe it to ourselves. Mm-hmm. Listen at least one time. Listen to what they have to say. And it's just like when I was a kid and my grandfather caught me one day, I'd make sure my parents were in different rooms. And then I'd ask Daddy for $1. Daddy, can I get $1? He'd give me $1. Then I go to my grandma, Mama, can I have $1? Okay, here's $1. I never got a chance to hit my mom up because that'd be like $3. That was pushing my luck. But that's the way you got to negotiate.
Yes.
Your vote, you are a huge voting block. If you weren't a huge part of a voting block, the Democrats wouldn't care. They wouldn't always try to stick freebies in your face so that you depended on them.
Yeah.
So you need to go, and we're going to bring it to you. We're going to actually, we're going to make sure that we get one of the debates in the neighborhoods.
Yeah.
So we want y'all to attend. Because you need to be part of the political process.
That's right.
You need to vote, and you need to use your vote to get what you need. And if you just look at the website, I just wrote a blog on this today. We need to hold our people accountable. Just because when I vote for you, you owe me. You owe me for the good. When just as much as when that corporation gives you that money, they want something in the end. They want something in return. I want something in return. I want some results. And when you don't live up to your expectations, you're fired. Yeah. It's time to get some new blood in there. And just because you look like me doesn't mean I have to vote for you.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's a bonus if you look like me. Because you can, most likely you can empathize with the way I think and the way I feel. But if you're not going to do anything, I'll vote for somebody that don't look like me. If they're going to get the job done, I go for it. Yeah. You have to negotiate between the Republicans and the Democrats right now because there is no viable third party.
No.
You got to make them work for your vote. Don't just go over to, I ain't voting Republican because they ain't going to do nothing for me. Right. Well, if they want your vote, they're going to do something for you.
They're going to do something.
And you give them one chance. And when they renege on you, you don't go back. My thing is, if I vote for you, I'm salty as hell if you don't do what you're supposed to do in your term. And most people when it's getting close to the next election cycle, that's when they start to deliver on. I wanted my due in your first couple years, in your first year. And
well, it should be.
Don't give your vote away. I just don't understand it. You don't go to a car dealership and just, okay, I'll roll over. I'll take what you tell me. I'll take that price.
But you know what that reminds me of? When I turned 18 years old and I became of legal voting age, my mom told me, baby, just vote straight Democrat. Just straight Democrat. Vote for all the Democrats because they're for us.
Right.
And that was my introduction.
But why was they for us, though? That's
because
the thing.
I think it stems from back with the Civil Rights Act. Back with Johnson, in the 60s, that once we got the paper rights on paper, that they were for us, and it was supposedly he had a quote. I'm not sure how true it is or anything, but once they gave us the Civil Rights Bill, Lyndon Johnson said, I'll have those people voting Democrat for the next 100 years. And I believe it's rooted in some truth, but I haven't determined whether it was actually true, but that was my first experience with voting.
So you voted Democrat
For years and years.
You and me both.
Because I was told that the Democrats are for us, and historically, and since the Civil Rights Act, that's the way it appeared. And they got so dependent on that automatic black vote, they automatically going to get the black vote year in, year out.
That's
like
right.
you say, without doing anything.
They don't have to do nothing.
Yeah, they've gotten complacent because they know they're going to get the vote every
Tim Walz didn't have to do nothing in the black community. He didn't even have to show up in the black community.
Did he do a Jeff Johnson and not show up to any?
No, he was down there.
Okay.
I went by the phone bank.
Okay.
To see right there in Plymouth. I went down there and checked it out. But what I'm saying is he didn't have to do anything because he knew he already had the black vote wrapped up.
Yeah.
As long as the Democrats can keep us thinking that they're going to do something for us. Look at all of the Democratic leadership, communities that's in the Democratic hands. Look at it. Look
You mean the ones where there's no prosperity, no hope, no way out?
Yeah.
Right. And that's what we keep voting for every single year.
Every single year.
That's like almost like Stockholm syndrome when you when your captors have you, and then you start to sympathize and empathize with your captors.
Right.
That's crazy.
That's exactly what it is. And but here's the thing, also though, what we also got to look at. Honestly, what is the Republicans actually doing for us? What they don't actually
anybody doing?
Well, yeah, you got a point, but what I'm saying is, here they are talking about all these black people are running over to the Republican Party, which they're not, because they're basically hanging. We are hanging in limbo.
Right.
We're just out here waiting for something to happen before we can get excited, and we can't get excited because the Democrats are sitting here talking about reparations.
Yeah,
we ain't gonna
they
get
throw that bone every 4 years.
Rev ain't gonna get his Corvette.
Yeah.
Nope. Don't fall for the sucker move. That's the straight up okie doke right there. Don't let them hook you with that because they're not going to give you anything.
No.
If people don't want to give you money for welfare when you're hungry, they're not going to give you money just for being black. They don't want to give you welfare.
Right. Everybody else has gotten reparations, though. The Japanese with the internment camps in World War II.
Yeah, I was in the Army with my colonel.
Yeah,
when she was a little girl, she was in one of the internment camps.
Wow.
Really?
Every group on planet Earth pretty much that's been wrong, they have been given reparations. But the black man,
Well, why would they give a black people power to uplifting themselves, to move out of the ghettos, to move into the suburbs? Oops.
Yeah. They love to use the excuse.
Therein lies the problem.
That no black people today were enslaved, so why do they deserve reparations? But we are still suffering from post-traumatic slave syndrome. I've heard that term thrown around a little bit, and I believe, the shame of slavery and the history of it still affects us to this day.
Yeah. I would love to see a study. That'd be if anybody's looking to write a doctoral thesis, there's your idea right there.
Yes.
Do research on the impact of slavery on a culture, on a race, on a people.
Yes.
Because we're still. It's a ripple effect.
Yes.
And we're still getting those ripples. But, you have to have enlightened people to break the cycle. You just can't roll with it and just, you got to do whatever you can do to break the cycle.
Well, things still happen today.
Yeah.
It's just like the thing that you got on there about the school. Mm-hmm. With the brother that just won all that money that... Actually, did you read all the way down to see that the insurance company is paying $450,000 worth? The school is paying.
They keep getting sued. They're gonna lose their policy.
50. That right?
Because he wasn't the only one that got pushed out. Some other people got pushed out. Can I give y'all a quick sidebar, real quick?
All right.
I said white people in Siri said, my Siri activated a couple minutes ago. So I'm telling y'all, be careful what you say in front of Siri. She's a snitch. Siri is a straight up snitch.
Oh, wow.
But I'm serious. Go back and look at the tape. Siri beeped when I said white people. I was like, oh, snap. Uncle Donnie's listening to us.
You got some numbers for today?
I have a number, $525,000. That was a settlement for the teacher in St. Paul, Mr. Benner, who openly opposed the school's policy to have race-based discipline.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So when the black kids do something, they don't get punished the same as when the white kids or the Hispanic kids or the Hmong kids do. It's like a get out of jail free card, and you can't raise children like that. That's like having two kids. You raise two kids, like you got two boys.
That's right.
One of them you spank and the other one you yell at.
Right.
Somewhere down the line, the one that got spanked all the time and the one that got yelled at, there's going to be tension. Because you didn't treat them fairly. You didn't treat them both the same. And that's what I'm telling you.
Wow.
A lot of people think that black people want a free ride. We don't want a free ride.
That's not what we're looking for.
There's a couple of us that do. But
No, I don't.
all we want to do,
Brother, I
all
don't
we
want
want
a free ride.
is to be treated like everybody else.
Yes.
Just treat me just like you can't see me. Like there's a blind in front of us, you can't tell that I'm black. Just treat everyone the same. If I'm going to go to jail on a long sentence, the person that's white need to go to jail on a long sentence. It's disproportionate because blacks and other minorities receive longer sentences, harsher punishment than our white counterparts. And that's, you can just watch the news and see that to where like if you're black and you rape somebody that's drunk, you're going to jail. But if you're white and you rape
Brock,
yeah,
the Brock kid.
There you go.
And you rape somebody because technically, if somebody can't give you consent when they're totally drunk, that's rape. You're just a kid who had issues. Like hell no, you're a rapist. You need to go to jail too.
Yes.
There can't be any dual standard.
But that's that media perception of black people. We don't get that benefit of the doubt.
No, we don't.
We're evil.
Yeah, unless you got money.
Unless you got that, that's what I was about to say.
Yep.
You got a little money, you can get off. It doesn't matter, what race you are. You got a little money, that's exactly what's going to get you off. But at the end of the day, when you think about this whole thing, it's like I said before, and people can say what they want because I'm a living testament when it comes to God. I was out there, I was running the streets, I was doing wrong, and I didn't have my head on right. But when I turned my life over to God, I say that look at me now. I got my own house. I got 2 brand new cars. Brand new. 2, 3. I just turned around and gave my son a car. Now, I'm not bragging about what I have.
Yeah.
I'm bragging on God because I know what God did for me.
Nobody gave that to you.
They didn't. No, nobody gave me anything. My wife and I sat on the floor on many nights and rolled pennies. Remember back in the day, had to roll the pennies? Right?
Yeah.
We rolled pennies on many given nights.
I still keep a jar of change just in case I need gas money.
Exactly.
In between paydays. I'm telling you the truth. It's sitting on my nightstand. I put nothing but silver in there. So when I'm broke, hey, Becky, let's go count some pennies.
I'm just saying, God has been good. I don't care. You can say what you want about God, but not to me, because I know how God. I know where I was at. Right. Back in the day, I know what I was going through. I know what type person I was. You get some brown liquor in me, and I'm fighting everybody. Everybody get the bone.
You one of them.
I'm one of them. Everybody. I don't care. Everybody. What? You just because you 3 years old, that don't mean you ain't getting none. Everybody.
So you catch one too.
Everybody can get it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, what I want people to understand when it comes to me, I believe God has led me to the place that I am now. Look at all the stuff that I've been able to do for people, where I got wheelchairs donated to me to give to people. I had all that money given to me that we was able to do things at my church. We've been down there on Corey Street giving away packages to homeless people, and we're going to keep doing that. But all of that stuff was donated to me.
Wow.
All that stuff has been donated to me. I got the GLers from Garage. I don't know if y'all listen to Garage Logic.
Listen.
I was just on the show just the other day, and people sit there going, "Rev, what else do you need?" Wow, I told them right now, I don't need nothing right now. Hold on, let us get our act together. We got things. We're going to get this 501c together.
Yeah, we can get the nonprofit together.
Right? The guy reached out to us and go, "I can help you put together a nonprofit."
Wow.
These people are just coming out of what God will put good people in your life if you start doing what he tells you to do. I'm telling y'all.
That's kind of how we got this show.
Thank you.
God put Walter in front of us.
What we was running around trying to look for buildings on our own, right?
Yeah.
And trying to figure out how do we do this? How do we do this? And I just said, God, you know what? If you can just open up one more door for me and just let me use it for your good. If I can use it for your good, I know everything. 2 weeks later, we were sitting right here.
Right, with Walter.
Walter says, why don't we put together you guys a show? We were sitting there going, yeah, whatever. I ain't going to hear from Walter. Next thing we know, Walter calling up, come on in. So we thought we was coming in just to sit down and talk.
Right.
We ended up doing our demo.
We taped our pilot that day.
Didn't even know it. Didn't have nothing. We were sitting there looking at each other going, what are we going to talk about? Right?
Yeah.
And boom, laid it down. And we've been here ever since. That's what I'm telling y'all, man. I'm telling you, God is so good. God is so good, man.
Just
I
give him a
feel like I can
chance.
sit here and preach to y'all sometime and let y'all know that only thing you have to do is let your faith walk in front. If you let your faith go, I'm telling you right now, God will come behind you and pick up any mess that you put down, and he will clean you up. He will turn you around. See, I serve a God that no matter what happens to me in my life, I realize and understand and I know that things is going to be good. The wife and I was going through a hard time. We ended up going to a church where I got another church home that I sit down and I listen to her. And she broke out the word to us, and you know what? Everything is all right now. Everything is fine. I'm good. And even I sometimes I lean a little bit, but I know where to go when things start getting ugly. I can walk through the valley of the shadow of doubt, but I realize that there's a lily in the valley at any point in time. So only thing I'm saying to people of this world now is we need to get back to where God wants us to go. I know everybody always run around talking about, oh, there's white people religion, and white people this, and white people that. You know what? I'm going to tell you this here. As long as he keep doing good for me and doing what he's done for my family, he can be orange, gold, pink, orange, silver, bluish. It doesn't matter to me. But I can tell you right now, he ain't been nothing but good to me, man. He's been nothing but good to me.
But he can't do any good for you if you just don't sit still and ask for help.
Right.
That's like, you know, you're expecting me to read your mind. You know, you got to humble yourself and ask God. You know, just don't be like a little kid and only talk to your parents when you need something from them. You got to have that talk with them every night, and you got to pray on things. You know, I have friends that need a prayer. I put them on the prayer rolls at church. You know, and I tell them, I say, hey, I got you. I put you on the prayer rolls in church today, so expect things to happen for you.
If you're going through something, I'm gonna tell you. I'm telling you right now. Just give him a try. I mean, what else you got to lose? You're already down in the dirt.
Yeah.
What else you got to lose?
You're already
living paycheck to paycheck. Whatever you got to lose. What else you got to lose? You ain't got no money for you for your gas in your car. What else do you got to lose? You ain't got no food in your fridge. What else you got to lose? You don't have heat in the house right now. What else do you got to lose? Your kid don't have shoes on their feet. What else do you have to lose but to give him a shot and see what he can do for you?
Yeah.
Just give it a shot.
It's that simple, Rev. But my friend Jill said today something about it's so simple that it's hard.
Oh, it's hard being a Christian. Don't get me.
But as far as like asking for help, is the answer. It's a simple answer, but it's hard to do. That's the problem.
It's hard.
Yeah.
I tell everybody, being a Christian is hard. This is hard. Every single day you get up and you try to do your best to do good, but knowing you're going to fall short of what God wants of you, but realizing because of his grace and his mercy, he can still turn that all around. Yep. Period. No ifs, no ands, no buts.
And there will be people with put obstacles in front of you. Don't fall for those traps.
Yeah.
Because you fall for you take the bait, there goes any opportunity that you had.
There you go.
You got to wait till next time.
Hey, you know what I wanted to throw out there real quick also is because I was talking to a brother the other day about black men and guns.
Okay.
You carry, right?
Yes.
You carry.
Every day.
You carry.
All the time.
I carry. So you got 3 black men to carry. So you know how they always talk about if a black man carry, he gonna get shot, him gonna get killed. They always saying that.
Yeah.
My brother was saying that the other day to me.
Yeah.
Scare tactic.
In my experience, most black people, especially in my family, I could speak for the ones in my family, they think guns are for white people, policemen, and black criminals. You know, they don't think any law-abiding citizen, black person should ever have a gun. You know, when they found out I was taking my kids shooting, they're like, why are you teaching those kids how to shoot? Well, oh, my goodness, what are you doing, you know?
You mean teaching your kids how to defend themselves if they have
to? Yeah.
Or saving daddy?
They thought that was insane, you know?
So we don't have the right to the Second Amendment?
Apparently not.
Our debt's been paid for the Second Amendment.
In a lot of our minds, but I'm here to tell you, man, we need to get out there and start exercising this Second Amendment right, you know, to defend ourselves.
So we don't believe what the Democrats were running around here telling us that
people out here, the media are using fear-mongering and scare tactics with these mass shootings to scare us into giving up our rights, you know, and okay, just like, a drunk driver goes out and kills somebody. Well, we're gonna outlaw cars,
Yeah.
It's
or we're gonna sue Ford.
Yeah, it's evil people out here, and evil people need to be stopped by good people.
Right.
Good people. There's a quote out there that says the best defense against evil men are good men who are skilled at violence. That one kind of stuck to me, and I hate the word violence, but you should be accountable for your own personal safety.
Sometimes you have to return
the police are minutes away, and this threat is right in front of you right now. What are you going to do? You're gonna hope and pray and cower that this guy doesn't harm you. You need to be accountable for your own personal safety.
You're your own first line of defense.
For own first responder. That's what I believe.
There you go. It's that simple.
Yeah.
So at some point in time, we got to wake up and start thinking for ourselves.
Yes.
And if you're listening to this show, you have absolutely no excuse.
Yes.
We have volunteered to take you to the range if you want to go to the range.
Yes.
I have a few range passes. You have no excuse. I'll take you to the range for free. I'll let you use my gun. But don't be cheap. buy $20 worth of ammo, please.
Bring your own ammo.
Because ammo ain't cheap.
Bring your own
Bring your own ammo. I'll let you use my gun. So don't be cheap and you get in the range for free.
It's like the parties. Bring your own bottle. Bring your own ammo.
Bring your own bullets.
Hey.
That's our motto. Bring your own bullets.
Hey, there you go.
I like that.
But hey, once again, I want to say this again. Shout out to everybody out there who's helping us build this here brand that we're trying to put out with. I want to again thank Huey for being here on today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. We're truly blessed to have this show. Thanks to Walter Hudson and Brianne. Brianne, what's your last name?
I'm good.
And Brianne, she's one of those artists that only have one name. Thank you for helping us and supporting us. We really appreciate it. God bless you. Peace.
We're out.
All right. Later.